So, a lot of us right now unknowingly are dealing with our negative habit patterns. And it's very, very interesting because we literally think our negative habit pattern is actually normal and we're supposed to do it. Because really, at the core of it, we're trying to protect the survival based position that we have been put into. We think thinking these thoughts is normal. We think feeling these feelings is normal, but it's normal for the position that it's keeping you in. See, there's a reason why an employee remains an employee. It doesn't go and start his own business because he is in a negative habit pattern, for example, that is leading him to believe that he should work here and continue to be an employee rather than go out and venture into the marketplace with their own unique service, product, and information and share that amongst the people and make a profit through that. So it's very, very interesting because we really have to ask ourselves, guys, like, look, what's the difference between you right now and the person you look up to right now? Like, let's say you want to be a singer. What's the difference between you and Lil Wayne? What's the difference between you and Nas? What's the difference between you and Jay-Z? What's the difference between you and A$AP Rocky? Well, it's a self-image. It's a way of seeing yourself. It's a way of feeling about yourself. A$AP Rocky, he goes in his music and he says, "I am that pretty motherfucker." Can you say that? Can you say, "I am that pretty motherfucker" in front of people and not care how people react and genuinely feel that in yourself? Because it's very interesting because as I'm getting out of my negative habit pattern, it's literally trying to pull me back in. It's literally trying to put me back in jail because my brain has been programmed since I was a child to do certain things that are perceived to be as safe, perceived to be as good, perceived to be as, as something that would, you know, benefiting me as in keeping me safe, secure, and safe basically on the earth level. But we don't want to stay on earth. We want to be able to go to heaven. We want to be able to experience our highest possible good in this lifetime. But what's stopping us from experiencing this, highest possible good in this lifetime is that very negative habit pattern that we keep ourselves in. Because literally our parents were doing it, their grandparents were doing it, so we think that that's normal. Like, what is the difference between a regular person and, let's say, the Obamas? What's the difference between your family and the Obamas? What's the difference between, let's say, just you and anybody who's in a position that you want to be? It's literally just a way of seeing and a way of feeling about yourself. And how did they get there? They made a statement that's emotional, equivalent to the statement that is emotional that they made when you was a kid. You might have made an emotional statement like when you was a kid, I'm stupid, I'm not confident, blah, blah, blah. And you emotionalized it, and that emotion became solid, it became like ice. So now you have to slowly melt it away with what? Your fire, your ability to create a vision away from the past, and so you can go to your cash. And it's very, very interesting because this anchor is strong. It's trying to hold you in. It's trying to maintain you there because it doesn't feel like that's the safe thing to do, and rightfully so. Because you've never ventured into that territory before. Like, if you've never done that thing before, you wouldn't feel safe doing it. You would feel nervous. You would feel like, yes, something is not right. I don't know about this. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't feel this way. Oh, let's say y'all not talk about a lot of spiritual stuff on this channel, so stop playing. So let's say, you want to be like Jesus. Let's say you look up to Jesus and things like that. Some people look, nah, Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the Christ. You shouldn't talk that way. You shouldn't feel that way. But Jesus literally tells you in the Bible that I have many brethren. He tells you that, don't you know that ye are gods? Jesus literally comparing your mental power of mentalism to that of a god. Not that, now look, when I say a god, you are an individual expression of God on this earth realm. But source, God, is the source of all this reality. It encompasses all things, the sun, the moon, and way beyond this parameter. But we're in this cool training to become gods. Because basically, to go into that just a little bit, because we want to talk about the negative habit pattern mainly. Even your cells are training right now to get a body outside of them to have a human experience, because we're all going through this expansion and contraction process. And in life is going to take you through situations so you can experience contraction, like, someone pressing your space, or you feeling like you're smothered or smaller, so you can go through an expansion. Because if someone or something or a place or person thing is putting you through a contraction, and you don't like to be in that contracted state because of work, because you might not have enough money to spend, or you might not be with the girlfriend of your dreams and things like that, it's gonna make you feel like you're in a state of contraction, in a state of like stasis. You're not unable to transform. You're not going through a metamorphosis, and so that negative experience of self, of not transforming, not moving, is gonna take you into that space of expansion. Because eventually you're gonna get tired of it. A lot of the people that, let's say, like, what's that guy's name, man? What's that guy's name? Anyway, really any important person like Tony Robbins, any of these gurus and things like that, or Dan Penny or whatever, a lot of them have to make the statement, man, I'm sick and tired of, this. I really gotta change, and I really gotta forward. And eventually you do get sick and tired. It does become very negative. Hence why it's called a negative habit pattern. Because if you, not negative as in like, because negative itself is an energy. It's the lunar force. It's the yin energy. It's the nighttime. And what that means is it's the subjective force inside of the human being, which we don't perceive. Because think about it. You might not know about how people feel about you. They might not present that to you. You might not know what type of passions, what type of desires people have, unless they choose to present that to you. You don't know what type of cyclical cycle people are in unless they choose to present that to you. So a lot of the times, we're not going to be able to see that yin realm inside of us. And so negative as in that lunar force, because negativity is not bad. Literally, femininity represents negativity. But as I'm trying to explain to you, negativity is not negative. It's just like pulling in, because females are so magnetic. They're magnetic beings. They're round. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we're talking scientifically as well, but females, y'all beautiful, y'all need to know that. You know what I'm saying? That's why females have round breasts, a round butt. Now men got it too, but men are more like straight lines. This is why we say things like, oh look, this nigga is straight, this person is straight. But that's what negative means. But negative as in like, okay, now we're gonna get into it like that. Now that I explained the general consensus of that. Negative as in bad for you. So when you're in your negative side of the polar shift of energy, you might use your negativity for something that's actually bad for you. And that's what I mean by a negative habit pattern, is using your subjectivity for the wrong objectivity. So you get lost in your feelings, and you're stuck in that, because now that has become a cyclical cycle. I'm doing the Instagram post for today, and it's basically the symbol of the Ouroboros, the symbol of the snake biting its tail. Because we don't know this is what we're doing, going in a circle like the sun and the moon, because the sun and the moon be going in a circle, and we're trying to realize the cycle that we are in, so we can get out of what we're inside of and start to actually do what we're supposed to do, because that's all God be trying to teach us. So all God be trying to show us, make us aware of ourselves. So we have this negative habit pattern, and it's a habit. Like, if you're in the habit of sleeping or eating a lot of sugary foods or a lot of oily foods, or you're in the habit of going to the gym, meaning it's something that kind of like almost kicks in automatically. Like, think about the natural habitats of an animal. Like, one thing I talk about now is the polar bear and the gorilla, or let's say spiders or whatever. A gorilla, you'll see that in the jungle. A polar bear, you see it in the Arctic. That's just its habitat. Its habit. Now think about it. Humans are a creature of habitat. Humans are a creature of habit. So what state do you inhabitate, and what habit are you constantly putting yourself into? But it's so deep, because the same negative habit that we're into, guys, this is crazy. Look, the same negative habit what we're into is the exact opposite thing that we're supposed to be doing. Like, whatever negative thing you do, it's that same because it's literally just one side of the same coin. because you can't do anything else other than your attributes and characteristics. You can't do anything else other than what God put in you. You don't know anything fucking else. Like literally, you don't know anything else other than the attributes and characteristics that God hasn't placed in you. You know nothing else. So the only thing you could do is play that either in a low octave or play that in a high octave. So for example, I have like numerology, number 2 in my chart. So I'm either gonna be very intuitive, very in tune, very in duality, and use that for higher purposes, or I'm going to be peaceful, or I'm going to be very unpeaceful, very unintuitive, very unintune, dualistic, kind of like a clusterfuck in my own head. So the same thing you are getting fucked by is the same shit you're gonna rise by. That's the crazy thing about all this. So, and we're gonna work on this, and we're all gonna get out of this, because this is the destiny of mankind anyways. We're all supposed to learn this, understand this, and guaranteed, y'all ain't even seen nothing yet from me, because I'm about to go literally from heaven, to hell, to glory, to grab all the 7 stones of chaos and order and put these things together so I can create the gauntlet of infinity and freaking summon some shit. And because I'm already doing it anyways, but now that I'm conscious, I've always been consciously aware of it, but you can see I'm talking so excitedly because it's like my mind just noticed something new. It's not like I haven't noticed it before, I just haven't realized in this magnitude. Yeah, you know what? Because I'm not gonna tell you guys that part. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that part. All right, but real fucking shit. Your negative. It's not because I don't want. It's more personal. It's not like I'm afraid, but certain things you can't really share because there's certain like body snatchers and things like that I'll explain that later. Because it's like, because I was gonna tell you about my dreams and things like that. Okay, fuck it, man. Fuck it. So it's basically like, okay, look. So it's basically like I got out of my negative habit pattern, right? And then I had a dream I had a baby. Now, if you read what dream it means to have a baby, and not like I literally gave birth to a baby through my body, I was holding a baby. Okay? What that dream means is that I created a new clean slate, a new mental body, a fresh birth, kind of like the energy of spring, right? Kind of like the energy of spring. And then I played that out, and I was enjoying myself. I was happy. I was peaceful. I was responsible. I was compassionate. I was going into my higher octave energies. And then I did something that, because thought forms are very delicate things, right? While you're nurturing and creating, you shouldn't do something that kills that negative habit pattern. And so when I went against myself again, I had a dream where I had a gun pointed to my head, because basically what I was telling myself subconsciously, yeah, nigga, get back in fucking jail right now. And I was breathing heavy. I was like, I was trying to calm my breathing in the dream, and there was a gang that had a gun to my face. But what that means is that I basically put myself back in jail. I put myself back in timeout. I'm like, no. I don't want to get outside of my negative habit pattern. I want to stay in hell. I want to stay in my problems. God, I deserve this. Do this to me, please. Because God is just the animating principle. And based on what we think and feel, that's just going to animate force. If you think good things, you create good experiences, you create good thoughts, you create good feelings, but it requires you to be consciously inserting that variable while simultaneously weakening that variable that's latching on to you. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And we're definitely going to come with more and more valuable information all the time, because I'm growing and I know that you're definitely growing. Love you. Appreciate you. Gotta take a shower. Well, first gotta go to the gym, take a shower, eat, and sleep, and then wake up and win and repeat. You already know.